anyway, this is our Thursday evening for some of you, morning for others, middle of the night for others. Session of Talk with Wayne, and certainly would love to let you guys ask questions. Alicia's put in some already. Not really questions, just some comments and some links to this point. So we will look for you to throw anything out there. I got Mark behind the glass. Say hi, Mark.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, I was muted. Hello, everyone.
By the way, everybody, if you could, in your own sort of way, um, put in your hearts some feelings of care for Arib. His mother-in-law passed away late last week. As you know, we didn't do this session because it was Thanksgiving here in the US last week on Thursday. So we didn't have our talk Mark that passed. And I think it
Yeah,
was rather, I'm not sure she was sick. Was she, or Mark?
no, it was, uh, it's just all of a sudden, thing. So nobody expected this. Yeah, she had a heart attack and never recovered.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, um, please put her in your thoughts and prayers. So put Arib and his family and his wife and her family. Anyway, I am, as I said, up at this new location, which is now the operational headquarters of the Institute of Economics and the EAT community. And I'm in our um, gathering room. By the way, we're still looking for names for a number of these places. And Joel, hi from you. And he's with Climate System Solutions. And if you want, at some point, Joel, ask Mark to unmute you, and let's chat and tell us a
Yeah,
little bit what you do.
that'd be great. If you would like, I can unmute you.
Anyway, I'm here in this great room. I'm going to move my camera. I'll just let you see a little bit. It's really beautiful here, and it's all decorated in Western America theme. You're seeing just a corner of a very large painting that is an original that's behind me. That's the front door to the lodge. There's a wreath. We're obviously decorated for the Christmas season. And when I swing it around here, you're going to see a Christmas tree. That's also an original piece of Native American art. So the theme is combination Western, but then with a real emphasis on Native Americans. And that's the windows or the sun shining through on one side. There's the Christmas tree that we're getting around to. And another area that this is a gathering area. There's a fireplace that you're seeing it now. Isn't that kind of cool? It's got some stockings on it, and just it's not that cold here. Actually, it's above freezing today. And, um, we just did a hike in an area that we hadn't been, and and the dogs are now having one of our staff work on her, on her, on two of them, getting these beggar lice out of them that get just all over when you're up walking in the areas that are above here. We have orchard above the lodge, on a hillside that's got excuse me, plums and apricots and pears and peaches. And we had just taken ownership of the site right as the season for harvesting those were over. So we really didn't get a lot of benefit from that. Um, but I've been spending a lot of time here, and we'll continue to do that. I'm actually headed out soon after we're done today to do a drive over to Washington, and maybe Mark could pull up a map and share. I'm going to go from Riggins, Idaho. Mark, if you pull that up, there's only one Riggins, and over to Ellensburg, Washington, about a 5.5 hour drive in the winter now, and there's snowstorms all around. And I guess there was um, a tsunami that hit off the coast of California earlier today. Does anybody know about that from the
Tsunami. Wow.
and with an earthquake that's caused it that was offshore of 7.0, and there's huge waves hitting the East Coast. I think Joel did say he can only be on here, so let's go ahead and link him in.
Okay. All right. So you should be able to unmute.
Joel, on your screen,
Okay, I'm all set. Can you hear me?
All right. All right.
how are you today?
I am doing great. Wayne, how are you? How are you doing? Sorry I haven't been on for a while. I've been real busy, this holiday season. We got at Climate System Solutions. I mean, folks that are on can check out our website. Just Google Climate System Solutions. It'll pop up on the top of any of your searches. But we've just instituted a membership drive because we've got a lot of information that's available on soil health. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what we're involved doing, our real focus is on soil carbon capture sequestration, which you know falls right into line with soil health practices, improving the economics of agriculture and farming to reduce pesticide fertilizer uses, increases water absorption capacity. But the real punchline for soil carbon capture sequestration is that allows us to be producing products, whether it be for fuel or consumer products or food, that have very, very low carbon intensity scores, which is what's really the key and the core for climate restoration. So I see when you're trying to pop up the website. It looks sort of scrambled on the screen though, whatever the connection
Mark,
is.
see if you can focus that a little bit better.
Yeah, not coming through very well. So it may be the feed is, the pixelation just isn't there. But
What's the photo that Mark had? What's that? Looks like a Delta system somewhere.
yeah, just some photos that relate to the some of the things related to climate. More of the graphics to get people's attention to then move on to the pages about our resources, our events. And like I say, we've got a membership program where people can sign up, for monthly memberships, to have accessibility to our newsletters, to our we have a library that covers just about anything and everything in soil science as well as renewable materials, whether it be chemicals, any kind of materials. So a lot of very useful information there. And we have a pretty strong presence on LinkedIn as well. So we post a lot of newsworthy items related specifically to climate. That's our focus is on soil health and its connection with climate. So those of you who are interested in that, definitely check us out. I'm very reachable for folks that might want to contact me directly. They can reach out through the website or through LinkedIn. Either way, we're pretty welcoming to folks that want to really I call it, uh, Wayne, I call it, we're trying to build a village presently that will hopefully, with people interested in soil health, will become go from a village to a town to a city to a megalopolis, because that's what it's going to take, for us to really instill the corrective actions that need to be taken worldwide, for climate restoration, and most importantly for soil health, which is, how are we going to feed the growing populations around the world unless we have, you know, good, good nutrient-rich foods and food security. So for me, it's a big deal.
Cool. Well, we're glad to have you take a little time in your day. And you're calling in from what part of the world?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay. And
Not as cold as it is your neck of the woods, but we're getting our cold stream. I was up in uh, New Hampshire visiting my son over Thanksgiving, and I suddenly was reminded why I moved away from the Northeast. It was like 15 degrees in the morning. Not, I don't like that kind of stuff anymore.
too early in the year to be that cold. That's cool. Um, Alicia, see if you can find something about this quake. Joel actually put the same thing in that it was a 7.0 quake off the coast
Yeah,
of California.
7.0 quake, and they were expecting tsunamis along the San Francisco and north of San Francisco coast. I got a friend out there. He says he's hoping he doesn't get he's quite a far distance inland, but was hoping that it would most people on the sort of on the western side of San Francisco would probably be impacted. I haven't seen anything more, you know, uh, except for the quake was about epicenter was about 72 miles directly west of San Francisco.
Okay. Um, so what else are you up to these days in Virginia? Are you are you got any personal regenerative farming kinds of things you're doing? It's winter, so you wouldn't be doing them right now, but let's say for next season.
Well, actually, the winter months in Virginia, Virginia probably has one of the most active groups that's practicing regenerative and organic farming. It's called the Virginia Association of Biological Farming. It's a fairly large, robust group because historically Virginia's been a is a state where with tobacco, cotton, and peanuts and whatever back in the earlier farming days, were fairly smaller farms. So there's still a lot of small farms throughout Virginia. Many of them have been practicing regenerative farming for quite some time because many of them grow winter wheat and winter barley. That the planting time was this past month. So all that's gone into where it gets harvested typically late April, early May to allow, soybeans and corn and other summer crops to go in. But a lot of the small farms, a lot of indigenous farmers and a lot of small black farming communities throughout Virginia, which probably, I was surprised in finding out as I researched it more over the last year and a half, that we have quite a robust, network of local farm stores and things where people will sell their goods. So it's pretty interesting. I found out a lot more about this. We as Climate System Solutions, we hosted a, a screening of the movie Common Ground, last March, and we got a lot of people that came to watch that movie, which is about regenerative agriculture. So, movie put on by Kiss the Ground, which many of you, I think you're very familiar with, Wayne.
Yeah, I actually saw the initial showing of that when it came out and back at one of the conferences. I can't remember which one now, but it's a great movie. So anybody that can get a chance to be able to watch it. So, well,
No, I've
cool.
gotten connected within a lot of that farming community here locally, but much of our work at Climate System Solutions is not just local oriented. It's really talking to farmers, all across the country to undertake regenerative practices, with this real focus on low CI score, which is a big deal for monocrops, the large corn and beans and oilseed crops now people are getting focused on potential applications in sustainable aviation fuel and biofuels. There's an increasing interest in that whole space, primarily around sustainable aviation fuels, but also, and there's a lot of oil seed crops like camelina and others that can be grown in the winter, throughout. I got a real good friend that has a farm up in North Dakota who planted, first year he's planted camelina for the use of the oil seed that could go into sustainable aviation fuel. So it's some pretty interesting things going on, which can allow these winter cover crops to really become cash crops, which really is a big deal for agriculture and for farming throughout North America.
Is Joel Salatin still out and about speaking, or is he retired?
Oh no, he's Joel's still pretty active speaking. He's just up the road from me up in Charlottesville, about an
That's what
hour
I
away.
asked. That's what I asked. I knew he was
Yeah.
close.
In fact, he was on a soil for climate webinar or something just last week. So no, he's still active, probably slowing down nowadays, but still a very good spokesperson for all of us and for the industry.
His daughter and son-in-law are regenerative farmers, just a little farther south, a couple hours drive from Joel's, where they specialize in forest raised hogs and cattle. And we've interviewed him. His last name is Green, and he married Joel's daughter. And,
Oh, okay.
so they're carrying on a second generation of the Salatin process. And yeah,
I
you
just saw
you
Alicia
just
just posted Gabe Brown on. Yeah,
yeah,
Gabe's
was that Alicia's? I thought that might have been you. Um,
no, that was Alicia.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
Gabe's
Gabe
somebody.
was in common ground, and yeah.
Yeah, and Gabe is somebody that has become a real hero in the Midwest with North Dakota and big farm. Gabe's farm's 10,000 plus acres, and yet it's all regenerative. It is not what his predecessors did, including his own family. So he had to basically buck the system. I have a dog that's up crying right by me. Her name is Luna. Her owner, Joe, who works with me, is tending to one of my dogs that's got these beggar's lice all through them.
Uh-huh.
And so he's brushing them out. And Luna's sad that he's not here, huh, babe? Yeah, you're a sad girl. You're a star right now. You're on candid camera.
Yeah. She's loving it.
Yeah.
And we have,
Well, thank you, Joel. Thanks for coming on, and don't be a stranger. Keep
Nope, I won't. I have to sign off now. So,
all right.
but no, I'll hop back on. I'll give you some advance notice. So if you want to have me on video to have people see my wonderful bearded face, they can. So,
All right. Well, we'll do it. Thank you much. We appreciate it.
okay. All right.
All
Take care,
right.
Wayne.
Thanks.
Take care,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Alicia, for Oh yeah, thank you, everybody. Give him some thumbs up. That's always a good thing. And Mark and Alicia were keeping us on his webpage. Mark, why was that one page so blurry? What was going on with that? Was that just on our
Um,
end?
yeah, could be my screen resolution doesn't like if it's off, then the text doesn't share. Like when I share my screen, and because of my screen resolution,
Okay.
it's not so clear.
Okay. We're going to interview Luna here next. Luna, talk to the audience. Yeah, okay.
And
And
we have Otter. Remember Otter AI, and we have that.
yeah, well, again, it's Levi's, and I don't
Okay.
know how that works. If he's willing to unmute
Yeah.
and talk and tell us, I know what he's doing. I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
understand what's going on. He can tell us better, but you can
Yeah.
use Otter AI to record a webinar.
Oh,
And
okay.
and
That's
so
cool.
he may not even be here. He may have signed in literally
To
even
record it.
using, but he
Yeah.
might be here. We will he'll
Okay.
tell us in a minute.
Let's
Um,
see. If he wants, he can unmute now.
yeah.
Let's see. Otter, if you can hear us.
Well, it's not Otter. That's the name of the
Oh,
software.
okay. Sorry.
Um,
Larry.
it's
Levi, sorry.
Alfonso Coles is also on.
Yep.
And maybe Alfonso would like to be unmuted at some point. But I think that his note taker, which is what Otter is a note
Okay.
taker. It's a great one. It's free. There's a free version of it. You can also get a paid version, but it's an app you can put on your phone, and he's probably using it to be a note taker for him in the webinar.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
um, Joel has always been a great guest for us when we have him on, and I knew he was in Virginia, but I just wanted him to let us know if that was where he was at, and I'm going to let Luna go. She's that little whining you're hearing is her because she's missing her daddy who's in brushing my dogs. Um, what other questions and thoughts do people have? Otherwise, I'm going to talk about a quick topic. Which is hot springs, because that's near and dear to me right now because what we're doing with this new project, and I'm writing a little ebook about them. And I'm just curious if any of you have had experience with them, and if so, how was it? What has it been? Have you used them for wellness types of purposes? Have you just used them because they're fun? And sat in them to be in warm water? Have you had any other uses of them? For example, drank water that's mineralized from a hot spring, or had a mud bath massage or treatment with it. Put it on the system if you have, or if you've got any info about that. We'll be able to look at it. Um, what we have here is water that comes out of a spring at 112 degrees. And the people that were our predecessors at this location, um, captured it in a underground, um, essentially reverse osmosis system to where it grabs it and accumulates it in about a 15 yard by 15 or 15 meter by 15 meter area under the soil and 4 or 5 feet down, and then puts it into piping, and that piping takes it to a pool, and also to a second hot tub type structure at 105 degrees in the hot tub, and around body temperature 98 degrees in the pool itself. And the pool is almost the size of an Olympic pool. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to be working it. Looks like oh, Mark is putting up some pictures of it. That's we're just now developing the website. That's a drone view of the portion of the grounds. It's on the Salmon River, which is what you see in the foreground there. The pool itself is in the background. Now the picture that's behind the video, which he's not playing. If you played that, Mark, can you play it with, and I'll just either be quiet or yeah, there we go. That's the pools. Actually, I don't think there is audio over this, so I can talk. There's just a view of a close-up of it. Different view on the pool. It's made a lot like a regular swimming pool. Water's 6 feet deep there. That's another aerial. That's actually, it's a short video, so I think that's the end of it. That's a pond that we have here. That's not warm water. That's actually freezing right now. It's got ice on the surface of some portion of it. It's fed by a spring that is the opposite. It's 53-degree water that's coming into it on a year-round basis. And then the hot springs are in the distance. You see a building there, and that's the changing area and the showers, and we call it the pool building. It's about, looks farther away than it is in this picture. It's only about 100 yards away from that pond. This is just some other images. We're still writing this, unless Mark got a lot more earlier in the week. It needed to have a little more work. Did you get it changed to Lodge on the logo? Mark, I'm just looking.
Yeah, change it to resort.
Resort, yeah. Got it changed. Very cool.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Somebody's unmuted. Who do you have talking there? Is that Alicia?
I think that's Alicia, yes.
All right, cool. Where are you at in the world today, Alicia?
In Clover, Virginia.
Okay. Wow, 2 Virginians in the same session. That's rare.
Yeah, she joins from different places though.
She's
At
all
different-
over. You can't ever
Yes.
predict where she's gonna be.
Right.
She could be on Mars for all we know sometime. You put this stuff in, Mark. That's language you've written right there. I didn't do
Yeah.
that. It's cool.
Mhm.
What
This-
anything
this-
else? The rest of it still need to be edited.
Yeah, this needs to be edited. Yeah, this was the template that I was using. So I didn't change any of the language.
Okay.
But I will add like fun facts. These are from previous template that you see it talks about debt and stuff, savings, living in comfortable life.
You don't want that.
We don't
Your
want it.
your computer's still a little blurry,
Yeah.
Mark, so we're not reading it that well.
Right, but these are accurate fun facts. So,
Yeah.
okay, and hopefully you can see the heading here, lodging and
Yeah,
food, and
that's lodging and food. The other's a little blurry below it. That's one of our
Right.
suites where people can stay. And what we're finding is a lot of this Native American artwork that we have is very valuable. It's a lot of originals. It's some very old info in some cases and materials. We have some carved salmon that I can actually walk over and show you. They're so cool. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the computer. Doesn't need to be plugged in all the time, but it's going to be as I walk, I'm going to turn it around. You're going to look ahead of me.
yeah, I see the trees up already, decorated.
Yeah. That's the fireplace, and the fire's kind of winding down. This is the salmon over here. They're life-size and they're carved out of stone.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then that's outdoors. It's in the winter here, starting about a week ago, we don't get any sunlight here. I mean, it's sunny. It's a blue sky day, but the sun, because of the steep canyon walls and where we're at, we don't get any. You can see that
Oh,
the sun's hitting over there, but
right.
it is not hitting where we're at. So that's the
But it,
pond I was telling you about that's frozen. That's ice on
uh-huh.
top of the pond.
And we've got
And
a
it
little
didn't
bit of
snow
snow.
here.
Yeah.
No, that's not snow. It's just frost.
Oh,
We've
okay.
been very humid. Which is rare. But that's not frost. So I'm playing a chess game against myself,
Okay.
and it's actually black's move. And if
Oh,
anybody sees what a good move would be,
no,
they could
I
take
suck at chess. I could never tell you. But looks like who is winning? You or you? That's probably not a good question. I mean, black or white? Which pieces are ahead? Oh, I think probably white pieces are in a better position. Hello, Wayne, you there? Okay, we might be having
I'm here.
technical issues. Oh, okay, might be frozen. Oh, looks like we are having technical issues. Let's wait for a few moments and see if Wayne comes back.
Okay.
Mm, so, uh, how is it? How is the weather where you at? You said in Virginia, right?
And not too bad. On the chilly side, not like Buffalo.
Oh, on the chilly side. Okay. Is there any snow on the ground?
Have a lot of
Oh,
lake effect snow.
a little bit of snow. Okay. Oh, and yeah, I've been to Virginia. So I was in Alexandria. It's close to Washington D.C. Arlington, a bunch of places. Um, so it's a really nice place. Um, and I've been to like West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, all those places, all the states. Uh, was a nice experience for me,
Sounds good.
right? Oh, looks like Wayne is not coming back. Anybody else have got any questions? Type them in
There's,
and see.
there's a lot of wild rice there surging up in the Mississippi Valley.
Oh, okay, so if Wayne doesn't come back, we might call it for today. Mm, enjoy the rest of the day, everybody.
We could play
Mm.
one of the videos. I could send you a video.
Oh, I could play. Did you okay, you put in a link for me?
I put some links on Salesology podcasts.
Oh, okay. I see it. I could play that. All right. Take me a second to load up.
Like a lake in Washington.
Okay.
And then
Uh,
USDA have a lot on agroforestry.
okay. So it looks like this podcast, this one, I have it on my screen. Oh, Wayne is back.
When did I get knocked off? I'm literally walking around. I don't know what's happening because I'm showing my. What were you seeing when I got lost?
I saw the chessboard and I asked you who is winning, and the next thing is you dropping off. So
Well, and it literally, my computer shut down, Mark. I
Oh,
don't even
okay.
know what I literally had to completely go into a recovery mode.
Oh no. Oh, no, that's not good.
So I don't know what caused that. And clearly, when you turn your computer around, I'm glad I didn't take over being the host, or it would have ended everything there. So,
Yeah.
um,
Right.
well, I finished walking around and I showed some images of Native American art that's here and just some other things. So it was kind of cool. Um,
Yeah, the fish made of stone, that was pretty cool.
yeah, they're pretty cool. When we do the replay, you'll have to maybe take an image out of that, Mark, and add it to
Right.
our web page that we
Uh,
have.
yeah.
Well, what other questions and comments from folks?
Okay. So Alicia shared a link of uh conservation with sales leaders podcast. So we were going over that podcast. There's several of them. Looks like it's audio only. So check that out, people. She's got some amazing resources here. And I had this map up. So Wayne was talking about he's driving to Washington. So I looked it up and I have the map up on my screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So this is like Google tells you what route to take, how long it's going to take. So it's 5 hours, 21
5
minutes.
hours and 20 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly how long you're going to be driving. Looks like it's like north, so it's going to be cooler in that
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Other than that, I think,
North and
yeah,
west. So,
okay, north and west, right. Nothing else right now.
okay. Do me a favor, go back and maybe address some of the things that the other podcasters for about a minute or two here. I'm going to go and check and see how my staff is doing dealing with my two dogs that have got these burrs everywhere on them. Because I've
Okay.
got, like I said, be taken off after we're done with this today. I'll be right back. So this time I'm not
All
going
right.
to move it. I don't want it to go dead again. I'm going to
Okay.
set it down right here. And I'm going to just step out of the picture for a minute.
Okay. So Alicia has some amazing information, a lot of links here. You can go and check those out. She's got some amazing text also. So she's got wild rice, experiencing a resurgence in certain areas. Okay, I can pull that website up and take a look at that. Let's see. I'll share that with you. Um, Let me know if you guys see it. Okay, so here it is. Okay, pretty
Manoma is
good.
one of the healthiest foods on the planet. It is sacred to Ojibways and many other native peoples. Generations and generations of Ojibways have got this rice. It's in our prophecies, it's in our history. We moved until we go find the lakes with rice on them, and here they are right here. So we're doing what's traditionally been passed on since our Ojibwe people, Anishinaabe, lived out on the East Coast.
Okay.
Certain areas get twisted by people turning around in their canoes. So rice will look really weird or messed up in certain areas. And see, once it storms out, it will fix all of them areas.
It blows the rows together. And when we turn around, we try to turn around in something like this, so you don't leave a big trail.
When he pulls you through the rice, he does runs like this. Each line will be right next to each other.
All right, so we were listening to the podcast a little bit. Um,
On in a boat. So it kind of gives you a steam that kind of makes you like, yeah, this is coming down good. You're going to keep going here. This is good stuff. So it's pure ripe. As you look at the rice, it's really ripe. You don't have to hit it hard with the knocker. You're just hitting it politely, ever so gently. You don't have to like kill it.
There's two different ways I like to do it. One's this way, when I use both of them at the same time, pretty much. Gently. And then this way.
Trick is not to hit the heads and stuff in there too much and break the stalks.
Right.
So there's green rice still in these stalks, so we can come back another day and still be able to hit them and still get rice out of the same area.
And the sun will ripen more rice up in a couple of days. It doesn't take long. That whole time I knocked, I've only got 6 heads in the ground.
It's that water is life thing. Why I think we try to make sure that they're including the lakes and the waters because these things are food here. It's very important.
So, well, we'll put another dog on for a second. This is Puck.
oh wow.
And she
And
was
what-
in the weeds and got these burr things all over her. So they've been working on her and getting them off of her. But she's doing better. And she and Luna get along, but Luna's jealous that Puck's now up here. And so
And what kind of dog is Puck?
Puck is a golden retriever.
Oh, golden retriever. But it's a little bit darker than Viking.
Not much. It's dark in this room.
Oh, okay.
So she's about the same color as Viking.
Okay.
Just dark in here.
Oh, but is it older than Viking or same age?
She's younger. She's
Younger. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
3. Yeah.
That's a cute dog.
Very
And
nice.
then I've also got Esther over here standing. Esther has been working with the
Hello.
dogs. And Esther is one of our volunteers that's working here, and she's from
All right.
Alabama. She's got a
Wow.
little bit of a drawl. She could talk for you for a second. You could hear her drawl.
Well, actually, I was going to ask you, Wayne, do you want that pipe that's in that crate?
No, I don't. So
Put it on the shelf.
that was brought up here, so Joe,
Oh,
we could
okay.
use it for different pipe uses. So yeah, just
All right.
set it up. No, I don't.
Okay.
She's cleaning out a dog crate for me because we are leaving right after the webinar today to go pick up a puppy over there in Washington, like Mark showed. And so they're helping me get stuff ready for that. She cleaned you up really good, Puckster.
Or Bing Crosby was born in Spokane.
I'm gonna actually beg off and bail and let Mark, and there's only about
15 minutes.
minutes left anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Mark and kind of take it to the end, let people ask questions, maybe let
Right.
Alicia. What do
Yeah,
I hear?
Alicia was sharing some of the podcast
Rice.
that yeah. So we can listen to that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, and one of my other staff, Joe, just walked by and he's walked over to his computer. It's over that way. But anyway, I love all you guys. Thank you so much. And you're
Thank
awesome.
you, Wayne.
The community is awesome. And I'm gonna just click my leave button, but it's
Right.
it won't stop the web.
Correct. So yeah. All right. So Alicia, if you have, I can pull up that podcast for a few minutes and then
Everyone.
let's see. Okay, I'm going back to the chat.
Knock. This knock. Wayne is an Anishinaabe activist living on the Leech Lake Reservation in Minnesota. Something the Anishinaabe are known for is harvesting wild rice, or manona.
I just wanted to show you all the manona, which is one of the reasons why the Anishinaabe, my people, migrate this way. So all of this is monoman, the food that grows on the water, the good berry. Only grows here in North America, Turtle Island. And so it's very important that we protect this treasure that is an integral part of Ojibwe culture. Listen to it drop.
The monomen gets processed by being perched over a fire, then danced on to break the bowls, and then winnowing it in the wind to remove the husks of the rice. After the monomen is washed and boiled, it's ready to eat.
Okay, so that was a piece of the podcast that you just heard. Um, I can go back and share some of Mark Shepard's podcasts. So if you would like that, I can play a little bit of that. Um, let's see if I can queue up some of that over here for few minutes. So yeah,
There
this
we
is
go. Hi, everybody. Wayne Dorband and Mark Shepard, who is dealing with a warm computer again. He's here. You can see the slide up, and we've all been talking sort of in behind the scenes before we get started. Welcome to you all. And this is session 16 of the forest ecology course that Mark is so graciously teaching us and working and coaching us with. And I'm going to be really brief today, and I'm going to actually beg out because of just the last little announcement that I'll do, and that it's Wednesday night. It's getting dark here early now, and I'm getting ready for our event that some of you are coming to out here at the Mountain Sky Ranch in Colorado. And you know, a lot of things get done at the last minute, and we've had nice weather, but it's getting dark earlier. So I'm going to spend the last hour and a half of the day working with some of our crew here, just getting things a little more in shape for the weekend. And Mark's going to do his teaching, and I'm going to turn it over to him. I've got Mark in Bangladesh, and Stephanie, and Deb, I think, helping. And everybody, you guys, make sure you're looking for questions. Mark is not seeing his question screen again this time. And I'm going to actually start just because these people were here early and they're always here with a couple of questions that were asked, Mark, and then you start with those. And so the announcement was, hey, still come out here if you get a chance. I know some of you are. And it's late timing for most of you. I don't expect you to. But we are going to video the aquaculture course that I'm going to do on Sunday. We're going to video a lot of what goes on Saturday too. So we'll post some of that, but there's nothing like being with people face to face. So hopefully the next one of these we do, I hope we'll still do another one before winter hits in our part of the world at least, or we'll do it somewhere farther south. I'd like to do one actually down at the facility that I've now got considerable management authority over, that I've described to you. Even saw a video on our aquaculture, which is the combination moringa, date palm, aquaculture farm down in the Coachella Valley. So about 30 minutes from Palm Springs. Easy place to get in and out of. There's lodging on site. We could probably have 15, 20 people or more that could stay right on the farm. Anyway, that might be something we think about for one of our next live gathering for everybody. But Mark, let me ask a couple questions that were asked by the crowd, and then just go from there. So the first one, so it was Karen saying that she liked what Elaine did, Dr. Ingham. She said, I got a chance to meet her at Permaculture Voices 2 in San Diego. Did we meet there, Karen? Because obviously Mark and I were both there. Mark was speaking. And then she also, she says, I got to meet Mark there, getting my question in early. On page 110, you remember page 110, probably, Mark, but of your book, discuss wood that has been coppiced and burned as a biomass feedstock. Could you please define biomass feedstock?
Sure. The term biomass is any kind of material that was living tissue at one point in time. A feedstock is something that you use to actually put into a process, and there's various different processes that you can use with biomass. You can extrude it with a screw and an impeller, much like a oil press. You can burn it You can pyrolyze it, which is like a gasifier. So just a biomass feedstock is its simplest terms, firewood is biomass feedstock. You're using biomass to feed this combustion process, to heat your home, to heat your hot water, etc. So it's a fairly wide term that I've used. On our farm, we're using mostly for firewood. We also have a utility interconnect, which allows us to send electricity back into the grid. We're going to be getting a gasifier one of these days. We don't have one yet, where we'll be gasifying hazelnut shells and coppice wood to create biochar, heat for the buildings, and electricity.
And I'm just going to throw in quickly that biomass fuel stock, feedstock can be great if managed properly. Where Mark and I are working, and Mark's been and on a project in Africa, it's been what has become the devastation of a lot of the forested area, because they literally just cut down tens and thousands and hectares of acres, thousands and thousands, for creating charcoal, which would then be a biomass-related feedstock in a very non-restorative sort of way. So it's creating a huge problem. One more question, and then Mark, I'm going to just turn over. You get started. A little bit different track, but coming from one of our regulars. She says, and this is Ray, saying, I think I'm confused about, well, wait a minute, let me back up. No, it says that. I think I'm confused about GMO. Are plants only considered GMO if a virus is introduced?
No.
I mean, is that a simple question?
It's fairly simple. GMO is genetically modified organism. That is a organism that has been, it's very genetics, it's nuclear genetics, or it's ribosomal, it's DNA in the nucleus, or RNA in the ribosomes have been changed by some sort of introduction of a gene from another genus or species of organism. There's different devices. There's a thing called a gene gun, where they take like a micronized sized piece of gold and they put some DNA on it, and like a tattoo gun, they shoot it into a cell and hope that it lands in the right spot. There's ways to introduce it with bacteria. There's ways to introduce it with viruses. It's just introducing genetic material from a different organism and a different genus and species all together into one. The classic example was like the frostband tomato, where they took genes from an arrowhead flounder, an Arctic and a polar North and South Pole flounder, that you can freeze these things solid for years and then thaw the ice and they're still alive. It took those genes and put them into a tomato so it wouldn't suffer frost damage. Or it was actually, that was a strawberry, the arrowhead flounder and a strawberry. So that's the kind of thing that genetically modified organisms are. If it's classical genetics, if you got pollen that pollinates one flower to another flower, that's not genetically modified organisms. However, if you have a genetically modified organism, such as Roundup Ready canola, they put the genes, I think it was from a petunia, into canola, now to make it resistant to the herbicide Roundup. Well, then once the canola flowers, these new petunia genes are in the canola. Then that pollen goes off and it can pollinate a related species of radish perhaps, or cabbage, or broccoli, or kale. Now you have these Roundup Ready genes in the kale. That kale plant hasn't officially technically been it's not a genetically modified organism because we didn't directly change its genes, but it's been pollinated by one. So this whole thing with genetically modified organisms is it's going to be more and more confusing as time goes on, because genetics don't stand still. They keep moving and they keep propagating wherever they can go. And so, is that our last question?
Yeah, I mean, actually, somebody threw a name of I think a plant in here, Clean Star Mozambique, probably something that's a GMO variant of something. Yeah, I think that's it for now. You can go ahead and get started. I want to just quickly either Mark or Stephanie, can you guys hear us? And are you going to be managing the questions here so I can go on outside and get some work done and then follow this later?
Absolutely. I'll read the questions at the end.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie.
By the way,
All
that's,
right.
that's the one. That's the one. Stephanie. So Mark, get going. And thank you. I'm going to turn my webcam off. Don't worry, guys, because you're not seeing any webcams because Mark's is too hot to be able to turn on, and I'm just going to turn mine off here. So love you guys. Hopefully it's going to see some of you this weekend, and have fun. Mark's going to be great. Oh, I want to recommend, if you haven't watched the replay, we did a really cool interview last night with a guy named Dr. Tom Whiting, finishing up our chicken series. That's when you really go back and watch it. You'll really enjoy it. Tom was just great. I won't give you more info on it than that. Just go watch it. You'll enjoy it. Thanks, Mark. Go for it, man.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for tonight. But yeah, make sure to go back to eatcommunity.com and watch the replays. And if you are a free member, you won't have access to everything, but try to upgrade your membership so you have a lot more access to more videos, and join our weekly podcast live events. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time, which is tomorrow. So come back for another session, same